So you decided to go down the career path of being an attorney, and then you made a career change later in life. Well, not you're not late in your 20s. You made a career change. What was sort of the decision for you? Like how did you decide upon that, and how did you, I guess, bring yourself to make such a big life decision?
It's tough. It feels crazy even in retrospect, looking back at it and trying to sort of re-examine that period of my life. But I think, without getting too in detail, a lot of it was honestly trying to have a sense of self-preservation. I decided I wanted to be an attorney sometime when I was in high school. I think I was like, all right, well, let's take a look at my skill set. I can string a few sentences together. I, have some good critical thinking skills. I think that I'd be good at it. So let's just do that. And so for the next 7 years of my life, that one, 5-minute conversation I had with myself at 17 years old directed the course of my future, which is exactly how you want to go about things. And I, once I had sort of been set on that path, it felt like I could not break away from it, even though there were hesitations where I'm like, is this really what I'm going to do? Is this really going to make me happy? Is this really fulfilling to me at the end of the day? I was like, well, once I get into it, maybe it'll be fine. So once I got into it and was a practicing attorney for about 2 years after passing the bar, I was like, man, this is not it, huh? Something's got to change. Otherwise, this isn't going to be a long-term plan for a number of reasons. And at first, I was like, video games have been such a big and important part of my life. Even, just surviving through law school and into this chapter of my existence, that clearly I need to give that a bit more thought of how I want to really honor that part of myself and my personality and the things that I enjoy. So early thinking was, okay, hey, maybe I can practice law in a field that's more closely tied to video games and the interactive entertainment industry in general. Thinking through the process of how I would make that shift happen was like, well, if I knew how to make video games, I feel like I'd be able to serve my clients a lot better because I would really understand what their needs are and I would be able to speak the same language that they have. That led to me applying to go back to school, getting accepted into the Florida Interactive Entertainment Academy, where I met some cool people, like a guy named Carmen Aspernes. But as soon as I jumped into that program and as soon as I started to make games, it was a light switch moment. It was I'm never going to go back to practicing law if this is an option on the table, because it was so much more rewarding at the end of the day. It was so much more fulfilling. It felt right in a way that very little else in my life had felt like previous to that point. And so I went all in, and thankfully it worked out for me. Certainly I whenever I try to give advice to people about like, hey, is that what you would recommend? I'd be like, it's a gamble. It's a tough call to make because it worked out for me, but I know a lot of other people in my situation that tried a very similar route and are just as talented as me, if not more so, and has not worked out in quite the same way for them. So, I encourage people to, if it is an act of my life is not where I need it to be, I need to explore something different. Yeah, definitely go for it, but just be aware it takes everything, and there are no guarantees even once you've given all that you have. So, if you're willing to take that gamble, I thankfully, didn't have a family. I didn't have anybody depending on me. I could kind of take that risk and not worry too much about the fallout. But there's a lot of factors to consider. And I'm really thankful every single day that it's worked out as well as it has for me. I continue to try to work hard in order to make sure that it stays my reality. But yeah, a lot of cards falling just right to get me where I am today.